Welcome here, everybody. Very excited to see you again this lovely Monday evening. Still taking a little bit of time to get used to it being on Mondays, but personally, I love it because I always feel like a Monday is a fresh start. Every Monday is a brand new, clean slate. That's how I feel about Mondays, and I love them. So I'm very excited to be here tonight, and we're going to kick it off right away. If Lena, are you ready, or do you need some time? You ready? Okay. Lena's going to share with us a quick healthy recipe tip that I'm very excited to hear about. We talked about this before Christmas already, and so I've been waiting to hear and see what she has for a while now. So why don't you take it away, Lena?
Okay, so this is kind of, well, it's a date. I'm going to show it to you. I made these before Christmas and I still have some in my fridge, but or freezer. So I take a date and then I wash them and then I cut them and then you pit it. I don't know if everybody here eats dates, but so I pit it. Okay, that sounded weird. I take the pit out and then I fill it with peanut butter and then I put some nuts in there and then I cover it with melted chocolate, put a little bit of salt on it, put them in the freezer. And to me, it tastes like a Snickers, kind of, just better, I think. Yeah, it's very easy. I just keep them in the freezer in a Ziploc bag and they are still delicious, even though I made them before Christmas. Yeah, that's a very, very easy thing. You can also, if you want, you can press them and have like a date, what do they call it? Like date bark, kind of flattened. You can do it any way you want, and you can yeah, put into it anything that you prefer. But yeah, I really like it with the peanut butter and the pecans. And then yeah, salted chocolate. Yeah, very easy.
Sounds so good. Sounds so good. If I had known about this when I was pregnant with Sadie, I might have been able to eat some more dates. You're
It's
supposed
healthy.
so many dates, dates are really good before you go into labor. And
Hmm.
I couldn't get myself to eat them. So I wish I had known about this sooner. Another fun tip is go look in the Go app. There's so many recipes in there already. Like they have so many super simple recipes that you can use. Lean, active, like so cool. I was just searching for some of them the other day. So cool. Next we have the next Lena. Lena, is your guest on here? Is Trudy on here already?
She is not. She must have had something come up because she was super excited to share. And I've sent her a couple of messages and she must not be home yet. So,
Just let's just wait. We'll
yeah.
remember time. We can always squeeze her in later. Lena has a testimony on her team that is just, I want us to hear it because I think it's so important for us to know what even just what even recommending just one product can do. Sometimes it's even the ones that we wouldn't think could make such a big difference. So, with that being said, let's take it on to the next one. We have a whole lineup today, and it was really fun curating this, and I love hearing from everybody else. So, Rachel, I had such a fun time chatting with Rachel recently, and she has so much passion and wisdom when it comes to these Meat Plexus events. And so I asked her if she would be willing to share a little bit of her thoughts on these events and how she's utilizing them to build her team.
Okay, thanks, Sheila. Um, Seriously, I know they mentioned these calls. If you are not in love with these calls by now, then you are missing out because let me tell you some background. So last fall, I was working more on Instagram, so I ended up trying to do some of my own events, like a chat event, right? But I was pulling together some different, like prepping even a chat event using what we already have in boards still takes time, right? And you have to show up and lead it no matter what's happening. And after doing several of those, I realized I was going to move to some like calls, but I was prepared to spend a lot of work. I was going to have to prep all what I was going to say. You have to plan them. And then if you want to do health and business, I was looking at 5 to 6 calls a month and the time and all this stuff. I was prepared to do that because events are really how you can connect with people so well. So when they came out with these, do you know how many hours that I just cut out from my script? Hours. I am talking hours that I am not prepping ever. And these are better than I would have. Like, have you been on them in 15 minutes? What they do, I'm blown away every time because it's way better. And it just like saved me hours for this whole year. Not to mention the links, you guys, the links. I was trying to use the opportunity calls last time, and I'd be like hunting. I'd be like, Abundant Wellness, or is it this group? Where's the link for the call this Sunday? And where's the, and then it'd be like afterwards, where's the recording? And I'm messaging, I'm trying to figure out, like, I spent time. I literally have these 2 links in my file, like notes. I can hop on anytime. It takes me 2 seconds to send the link to somebody. Same link for the recording, same link every week. Guys, I love it. It is so easy. I am so much about easy. Like, and compared to what I've been trying to do or what I had, this is the easiest thing ever. And like they said, high quality, 15 minutes, right? So I was like, of course, we are all going Emerald this year because we have these calls. We have 8 calls a month. Like, I cannot tell you how excited I am because I am spending my precious time now inviting people. So I'm going to tell you how I'm using these, okay? So these calls get me into action because I can spend time overthinking. If I do not have a call, I sit there and I'm like, well, who should I message? Who should I reach out to? What should I reach out to them? The health, the business, what about this? And I can think for like 10 minutes. It's like such a waste. These, so simple. Seriously, Tuesday to Thursday, I invite to the health call. That's it. If there's somebody I want to invite to the business call, I leave them for Friday to Sunday, to Monday even. I invite to the business call every single week. There is no question. And for me, I need that. I just need like, what am I doing? I have an event. It's the same thing. It's not like, oh, this month there's events and this month there's not. It's not like, oh, there's one big event and I need to sit here and gather people up. You can invite customers. You can invite your reach everybody. It is like basic, simple. And so it's like so routine. Let me give you an example. So today, all day, 8:30 to 3:30, I'm at our homeschool group, okay? Sheila messages me, I'm like, okay, great, I'll talk about this. I come home and I'm like, wow, I, first of all, did not message people last week. Let me be honest. We all don't do things. So this is not about perfection. This is like, yeah, last week, I didn't message and invite people like I should have. Today, I haven't posted, I haven't done IPA. I was like, I have half an hour. I sat down and I invited 8 people because I have a system. I'll explain that. I was like, I looked at my notes. I had half an hour, invited 8 people. One person was interested, but she couldn't make it. So I'm going to send her the recording. Do you guys see how simple that was? Because I had it. I didn't have to come on. And I'm a mom. So like, evenings are terrible. I can't lead calls in the evenings. I can't even make it on calls sometimes. And I don't have to. I just like send them the link. And I can do it after a really long day when I don't even want to post. And I just like whip out messages. So here's some things that made it possible as well. I make my own messages. So I write out a message and I use it for people, but I have messages I like to use for health or messages I like to use. I mean, whatever you like, scripts or no scripts, it does save me time, but they're written by me. Maybe I have like 3 messages. Anyway, so that makes it easy. I also have people, right? When you connect with people, this is also going to show you who to reach out to. So if you sit there and you think, I don't have anybody to invite because I have been there, it's because like, you just need to make more friends and write their names down. And that is because I'm telling you, I'm like the queen of overthinking. But I go back to my list from a couple months ago. I find 8 names or 10 names. I send them my message. I did it in half an hour. And that is what gets me into action. That is what keeps me from overthinking. And it works. I've had people on calls and sometimes people are like, yeah, a little bit later. Like you get all the responses, right? But it is just so effective. Yeah. So anyway, that's it because I am telling you, I need super simple for me. And just like now I'm like, this is it. This is my system. This is my year because I know exactly what to do every week. There's no drama, no complication. And I love it. And I'm inviting people. So that's all.
Thank you so much. I love that. I love it. Because did you catch how duplicatable that was? Like a lot of the times when somebody new starts, what hiccups them up is, I don't know everything. Well, you don't need to know everything. You don't. You have this incredible, simple tool to plug people into. Hey, I started something new. I'm really excited about it. Join me on this call Thursday evening, Monday evening, whatever it may be, to learn more about it. Let's do this together. You don't need to know all the things. So if we're going to start getting really, really good, like Rachel, at using these calls and utilizing them and plugging our people into them, when our people start sharing with other people, because that's what's going to happen, it's going to be a domino effect, and they're going to plug their people into the same calls. It's that simple. You don't have to have all of the things saved and all of the big scripts and all of the training. You don't have to have all of that because Plexus has given us this incredibly simple system that we just have to plug our people into. They're already sharing all of the wisdom and all of the knowledge. And I think what I love the most about it is that it is the field that is sharing. It's not just corporate. It is top leaders from the field that have done all of this that are sharing this with us. So thank you, Rachel. That was awesome. I'm very excited. Who's all going to be inviting lots and lots of guests to Thursday night's product call. I'm very excited for that one. And I love that Alec is sharing on them to this week. That makes it even more special to me to know that our founder is on these calls and he is pouring his belief into all of us. Like, how many listening to him tonight, and he's like, Plexus is debt free. Do you know what that means? Do you know what a gift that is? When all of these companies are selling out to investors and bringing in outside money, we have our own money. We can do our own things. Like, so cool. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Rachel. I thought I had locked the door.
Then how to get the market before we go. Okay, bye.
Bye. Literally, I locked the door. Okay, anyways, let us continue on. A mother can literally not find 2 seconds of privacy, even with locking doors. I'm going to, okay, who all remembers the compensation plan questions from last week? Who all went to find the answers? I'm going to hand this part over to Mom. She and I talked about it today, and I'm really totally on her page with this. I think it's very, very, this is so important. This is so important.
Okay, so full confession. I was probably almost gold before I realized what points were, or that we even got paid by points. So I was complete rookie, had never done network marketing before. Do not feel bad if you don't know these things. My point is, if we know them, we can utilize them, because you're going to be doing things differently, because in your brain, you're going to be thinking, oh, right, okay, this, I now know this. So when I started learning and seeing how my team was growing and where the different places were that we were getting paid, it made so much more sense. And I strategically built based upon the best growth that would happen in the future, right? And the reason I'm saying that is because sometimes you hear people, they sponsor one runner and then they grow one leg, right? And then it looks like their team is exploding, but that sponsor is not really ranking up. And you wonder, what's going on? Her team is really growing. Yeah, it's because there's only one leg, right? Okay, so back, that's just one example. And sometimes we're confused at how things work and we're not quite sure. This is not just about money, guys. Let's be very clear about this. Money is the bonus, but let's be very clear on where and how we get paid, because it helps you to strategically grow your team as the people start coming in, right? So last month we asked, how many ways do we get paid? Who all knew that answer? Pop in the comments if you knew the answer of how many ways we get paid. And this is something where I don't care if you know or if you don't know. You're just going to make more money if you do know. That's the bottom line, right? And then the second question was, what is the difference between a binary comp plan and a starburst comp plan? So we're going to talk a little bit about the first one first. So there's 11 different ways to get paid in Plexus. You can get paid on 11 different ways. And once you start adding them up, and I encourage you to go to the comp plan and actually look, because some of them are going to be simple and some are going to be like, oh, I didn't realize that. So one thing I learned was the 11th way. I don't know if it's still number 11th or not, but it was years ago when Kristen was diamond. And then when you hit diamond, you have 4,500 points, right? 4,500 points. And then when you go up to 6,000 points, then you can re-enter under yourself again. So you essentially duplicate yourself and you re-enter yourself under your own account. That is the 11th way to earn, is to build yourself to diamond again. So that was something way back then. We had a conversation and she said, oh, I'm getting paid the 11th way that Plexus pays us today. Can you guess what that is? And I was like, how am I supposed to know how you get paid? And then she said, I just read. She was over 6,000 points. And then you can re-enter under yourself again and build yourself all the way back up to diamond. There's hardly any network marketing companies that do this. So take note, because some of these things are very different. And the world is right now, all these companies that are going affiliate and closing down, we could list probably 2 handfuls in the last 6 months. Epicure was the last one, 31. There's been so many, right? The point that Sheila made, where Alex said today, we have our own money. That's what those other companies didn't have. And so they thought by eliminating the field and not having their field personnel, people like me and you, paid, but we would just pay everybody to sell product. That's called affiliate. It's not residual income. It's just selling product over and over and over, right? That's exhausting. And it's very hard to pay back your investors to keep your people selling enough product that the company is actually making a profit, right? And so
do you mind if I say one thing?
Yes.
So like these people, let's use Beachbody for an example.
Yes, big one.
Incredibly huge top leaders. Those huge top leaders had huge teams. Like think about like a Diamond and Plexus, how big their team is. When Beachbody went affiliate, they lost everything except the level ones, the people that were personally ordering from them. Everything. They lost their entire paychecks because of that. That's what going affiliate does to the field. It's incredibly selfish on the company's part.
It's always based upon debt. If they go from network marketing and they go into affiliate, it's always based upon debt. Some companies are starting up and they're doing only affiliate, which is more like just social selling, right? The point that I'm going to lead into what Sheila was sharing there is Beachbody was also our second question, a binary comp plan. So this is not something that I had a strength in. I remember starting and I was probably like senior gold in that area, and Janelle started working. She knew every comp plan off by heart. And I was like, where do you store information like that? It just didn't seem very valuable to me at all. She had a genuine interest in how different companies worked, simply because that allowed her to see the huge benefits of what Plexus was different in. So if you have a binary comp plan, bi means 2. That means you only have 2 legs ever, okay? If you sign up under a friend, it doesn't mean that you are that friend's level 1. You're somewhere in that friend's leg. You might be their level 36. You don't get to choose if you are personally their level 1 or not. You are just in their leg. Here's the thing about binary comp plans. The struggle is you always get paid on the smaller leg. the bigger leg always goes to the company. If you keep building like this and all of a sudden you're the bigger one, Sheila's bringing it up, then you get paid on this smaller one. So the starburst, if you look at the diagram that we have here, you are in the middle. Oh, this is the binary one, right? Is that what you brought up, Sheila?
Yeah, so this is a binary one. There's two
Yeah.
legs. These legs are both equal, but let's just pretend that this one doesn't have this bottom part here.
Right.
If you were in this, you would only get paid on this side. This side would go towards the company. Now, for a starburst model, you can have as many of these legs like this as you want, and you will get paid on all of them.
So technically, if you need to go for a bit, Sheila, it's totally good.
Sorry,
A little
guys,
bit
I'm having a mini emergency, so I will be right back.
Yeah. Technically, if you think about that person in the middle and think about the whole circle being surrounded with legs. So you're building a table that has many legs under it and you get paid on all of them. And so what happens to the starburst? It just keeps growing, right? It just keeps going in all different directions. And that's why in Plexus, when we say build wide, the wider you build, the wider your paycheck is going to be. The wider meaning more numbers on your paycheck, not the piece of paper. The binary is a very hard plan to grow. Most people that would start in a binary comp plan, this is where network marketing gets a bad reputation, because in a binary comp plan, if you have like a large influence, so take, for example, this is a story that's circulating right now. Sarah Robbins, Rock Your Network Marketing book, that author, she was with, good gosh, forgot the name, totally blanking. Company shut down. Anybody remember who she was with?
RNF.
Right. She left Rodan and Fields. Rodan and Fields. Yes. Totally. I was like, where's the name in my brain? Rodan and Fields went, affiliate shut down. And she, having had built this big brand outside of just Rodan and Fields, she was well known as an author, as a public speaker. She was well known standing for the topic of network marketing, right? And so she took her brand and said, where do I want to go? And I'm shocked at this. Like this truly shocked me. But she went and joined Shaklee, which is like just a general regular, it's quite an old supplement company, not known for its cleanest products. You know, you would think someone of that stature would go join some, I don't know. I'm totally judging. She could have joined Plexus. She joined Shaklee. And so the other day, when you are aware of some of the direct marketing, direct sales markets, the stock markets, and what companies are doing good, the other day on a Diamond meeting, they were talking about there was this supplement company that had really grown at the end of 2024 and were really looking forward to a large 2025. And then someone commented and said, well, that's Sarah, because she took her influence over to Shaklee, right? These gals are still all doing binary comp plans, and it looks really hard. But you can tell when the influence is grown and she brings it to a company, then all of a sudden the person that had the little leg starts growing, right? But as soon as she hits that her leg would be making more money than what the company would be getting, then they would bump her down again, and then she has to rebuild. So it's a constant fight. It's a constant fight to get up the ladder, and you're never going to be like, they're always making sure that they are getting more from you than what they are paying you, right? Whereas 50% is what Plexus pays into the field. Exactly 50% of what you make is paid into the field. And since, yeah, it's not my jam, I feel like it looks so hard. I feel like it looks so exhausting. I feel like network marketing has gotten such a bad reputation, largely because of compensation plans like this. It's not the networking that people are having issues with, right? Like people love community. People want to build friendships, they want to do things together. And I feel like we have such a valuable asset in the way that our Starburst is built, because the more that we help others, the more we ourselves grow. Whereas in these binary comp plans, if all of a sudden one of your sidelines has this leg and she bypasses you, she makes more, like she's going to get more than what you do. So you have to fight to get back up there. So you're always competing even against your sidelines, which would be devastating for me to think of. Okay, any questions on that? Because I really would love to, since Sheila's not back yet, I really would love to explore this a little bit and just, you know, talk about some of the pieces of why finding these answers is really going to give you insight, and learning on where we are has huge benefits. And not just the fact that, you know, we're a Starburst comp plan, but there's so many things that come with it. I know everybody always says, and that's just what they know, right? And often I'll throw questions at people like that, Tira. I'll be like, oh, how many different ways do you get paid then? Like, just simply curiosity. And you can ask those questions in a nice way, because most of them won't know, number one. And number two, most of them say 2 different ways. And sometimes there's more, because they'll have bonuses that you can work for too, right? Yeah, it's hard to think of just getting into momentum and then, oh, you're back to square one, right? Okay, learning these answers will give you knowledge, and implementing these answers will build you a team of business builders. And so here's some stats that I just grabbed today. It had been a while since I had looked at some of these, but stats show when you talk compensation plan and business and share why we are different. These are just a couple of little things that we're pulling out of the hat that we're different on. There's way more yet. On an average, each ambassador brings on 60% more people that are coming in for the business. 60% if you talk compensation plan and business. So that's a huge boost in bringing in business builders, right? So this week's questions, if you have a pen and a paper, grab it, write them down. I'm going to grab 2 questions, literally. Just, there's so many things. And if you do have questions that you want answered, ask them in the chats, and then we can discuss them too, because it's so good to hear all the details on why it matters, right? So, okay, so question number 1, how many points per level do we get paid? I'll give you a minute to write that down. And this one might not apply to you yet. Like I was saying to Sheila, yet is the word, but we're always preparing of how it looks for you to become a jewel, right? That's where we're growing towards. That's what we're doing in building a team. And so this is a bonus that comes with when you go emerald. It starts with emerald. It's for the emerald, sapphires, and diamonds. What percentage is set aside for the jewel pool bonuses? So there's a separate pool. There's one for the emeralds, one for the sapphires. Wrong, sorry. One for the emeralds. And then when you go sapphire, you get the emerald and the sapphire. And then when you go diamond, you get the emerald, sapphire, and diamond pool. This is a bonus that you get paid out on your paycheck every month from these specific pools. What is that percentage?
Just a cool tip, that percentage comes from everything that Plexus has earned that month that goes out to the field. So it's not a small deal at all.
We'll see who's here. I think I'm going to leave it at that. Sheila, did you have something else to add to that?
Nope, I'm sure you covered it really well, even though I didn't get to hear all of it. Okay, so before we continue on, I don't think I see Trudy on here yet, so we might just have to leave that for another day. Promise you her story is amazing, but she's a busy mama, so we're just gonna have to leave that for another day. But what I did want to talk about quickly yet today is the greens. So these are the product of the season for Canada, and it's like Mom said last week, I think it was. We're not selling quite as many of these in Canada as they thought they would. And I have to agree with her. I think it's simply because they are not being talked about enough. So today I'm going to chat a little bit about what is in here and why we should talk about this more. Hi, Maisie. Unfortunately, we had a little incident outside, so that's why my girls are there now and maybe a little bit sad. They lost one of their pets. Seems like things always all happen at once. For the greens, this is such an incredible product to talk about, and I feel like we need to talk about it way more because you see of a lot of different greens products out on the market. I can think of AG1. I know Arbonne has one. There's so many different ones. The thing I have noticed when looking at the ingredients of most of these, and I am very much an ingredients person, is they have things in them that I avoid. Common in most of these is sucralose. Sucralose is a very damaging artificial sugar. You don't want that in a health product. You don't want that in something that you're trying to build up your gut health, not tear it down. So you will never find sucralose in any Plexus product, ever. This is sweetened with stevia, which is key, very, very key. Not only just that, it contains apple cider vinegar, which is super, super good. I mean, you see a lot of people drinking apple cider vinegar daily. It has incredible antioxidant, and it's a traditional remedy in many different cultures. You'll see this so many different places. Beetroot powder is actually also what makes our pink drink pink. Beetroot in itself has so many benefits. A couple summers ago, I went and dehydrated all my leftover beets and made my own beetroot powder to use in whatever you can possibly think of, like to make icing pink. Works great, and it has this like slight sweet flavor. It's so good. You can add it to your chicken's water. It actually keeps the water from freezing as quickly because it raises the freezing temperature, which is super cool, and it's good for them. So beetroot is amazing. It actually has it's like a natural source of nitrates, which is beneficial because the body can convert it to nitric oxide. Do we remember what nitric oxide is? Yes, I see all the nodding heads. Nitric oxide is really, really good, and it's in our active. If you haven't heard of it before, I would highly encourage you to go and Google the benefits of nitric oxide. Blueberry is in here. So blueberries are also incredibly high antioxidants, and they're very good for cardiovascular health. We have carrot root in here. It's rich in phytochemicals and again, antioxidants, so many antioxidants. So antioxidants are important because they come into your body and they fight free radicals. Free radicals are like all the bad guys floating around, to make it very simple. Antioxidants come in and fight it. And it's a natural detox process. So those are incredibly important to be putting into your body. We have fermented fruits and vegetables. This is really key because most products just put in fruits and vegetables. We have fermented ones. What happens when you ferment something? Anybody here who loves doing sourdough, anything like that? When you ferment a product, it breaks down the compounds in it and makes it easier for your body to digest, right? And so when you're putting in fermented fruits and veggies, not only do they come with more probiotics and prebiotics, because fermenting adds in good probiotics and prebiotics, but they're also easier for you to digest. Not everybody can digest a lot of leafy greens. I know that I'm one of those people that can't handle leafy greens. And so this is a perfect way for me to be able to handle leafy greens because they're fermented, which is super cool. Ginger, we all know how amazing ginger is. Ginger is seriously used for everything. Green cabbage leaf, again, good veggies. Kale, kombucha powder. I thought this one was so cool. It literally, so many people are all about kombucha. I have made my own kombucha for years and my kids love it. It's a process to make it. It is. I can take a scoop and I have the same benefits in this one scoop as if I spend hours making my own batch of kombucha. The same benefits in here. Oat fiber. Fiber is always good for you. Parsley leaf and spinach. Again, so many different good greens, prebiotics, probiotics, antioxidants, like so much goodness in here. And it's so simple. You take one scoop, you can mix it into your smoothies. It tastes amazing mixed with hydrate. Super simple to use. So this is the product of the season. I would encourage you to go and add it to your subscriptions and give it a try if you haven't yet, because it is worth like its weight in gold. And I remember sitting in the convention trainings when it came out and how excited people were, because this is not just your everyday greens product. It is next level, like truly next level.
I add one thing.
Yes,
I'm sure
please
you
do.
guys have all seen the AG1 commercials. Have you seen them? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Go look up their ingredients. Go look up their ingredients and then compare them with your greens container. And then look at the amount of what they're paying for sponsors to promote their product. It's absurd. Absurd. We watched these YouTubers that John has been following for years, and they had been, promoting AG1 because they need sponsors, right? They need sponsors to give them money, and then you have to promote their product. And I said, I've said this from the beginning. Like, can you imagine if Plexus had to pay people to promote their products on a public platform like YouTube or somewhere else like that, right? To hire people to pay. Anyhow, I was curious, and so I went and Googled and I looked into the ingredients of AG1. First of all, they're quite they hide things, like it's a little bit, their wording is a little bit suspicious. They're not clear on what is that exactly in there. And so I dug a little bit further, found the ingredients, and then I found of how they promote, right? And I'm like, no, like Alex said tonight, we have 25 amazing products. And what did he say was the amount of the billion-dollar industry that gut health is now? The AG1 ain't gonna do it. Let's just say it that way. It ain't gonna be them. It'll probably be more someone like Plexus. So there's that.
Yeah, it's crazy to me because if I look at this container and I'm looking at the ingredients right now, I like it if I can sit down and I can read an ingredient and know exactly what it is. And I don't have to go and Google to figure out what it means. I can say, oh, turmeric, I know what turmeric is. Oh, turmeric's good. Okay, yeah. I know what spirulina extract is. Like, that's what I want my ingredients list to say. I want them to be so simple that it just makes sense. And that's what this is. So if you haven't tried it, I encourage you to go give it a try. I'd love to hear, has anybody here, have you tried it? I know Rebecca said she adds it to her smoothies. So it's such a good idea. My favorite,
Go ahead.
sorry, my favorite was mixing it with the blueberry acai hydrate. I love that. Like those two together is just so good.
I haven't done that. Val does it with orange juice. I mixed mine with a lemon lime hydrate with tons of ice, 2 scoops of greens, and then I go sit in my sauna with a large jug because I have to drink so much when you're sweating in the sauna. And I feel like the lemon lime is like fresh lemon water, right? Like it's very hydrating and it helps you to not be
Sadie.
Hi, mommy. Cranberry juice. Oh, that would be good. That would be yummy too. Okay, wrapping up. This week, is it the 18th, is the gut health masterclass this Saturday, I believe.
I don't think this Saturday is the 18th. I think this Saturday is the 15th.
Oh.
But yes, it is this Saturday.
I have the date wrong. It's the 15th.
15th at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, right?
I think so, yeah. We're gonna post that. And Thursday night event is coming up. So let's use some of Rachel's tips to invite our people. I loved what she said of how she had simplified it and narrowed it down to having several scripts. Rachel, that was great, by the way. Having several scripts and then just go pick people out of your list, pop them an invite. It's amazing of what you're going to get for responses. Any response is an action. It doesn't matter if it's a no. Any response is an action, right? That's going to build your business further. And so highly encourage you to get that list long and send out those invites, and let's really start sending the traffic towards those events.
The graphics for each one of those events is already in the team page,
Mhm.
but you can also find them in the Go app. Use the Go app. It's all there. Like, its stuff is brilliant in there.
I was just fishing around a little bit more again in the Go app, and there's some really good compensation plan videos in there if you're looking. So next week, we're going to be asking you for the answers to these 2 questions. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I don't. Thank you all so much for being on here. Thank you
Yeah,
for
I'm loving all the babies too. Look at
Yeah.
that. They're so
fun.
distracting.
Thank you guys for having grace with me as I ran all over the place. I appreciate you guys all so much. And I'm so grateful for this family. So I
Thank
hope
you all for being here.
have a lovely evening. See you guys.
Take care.